Okay, I am recording and I should be live too. Don't really need to record this because I don't really archive these because they're on YouTube. Let's go to youtube.com. Yeah, we'll go to youtube.com and hope that this is working. Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. This is the live stream for November 5th, 2022. Let's see here. Just want to check that I am indeed. Here we go. Yes, it looks like it's going to work. And why is the volume lower? Oh, I turned the volume down on the YouTube player. I'm going to pause that. Let's look at the stats here. 7 watching now. There we go. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. Now what I'm going to do, the thing I'm going to try to do is try to read out as many comments as I can. I'm not going to have the speech engine read them out, but I'll try to read out the comments of interest before I answer them, just so that might help. I do apologize. I do apologize for anything in the past where it might have been a little confusing as to what I was talking about. All right, so here we go. Let's see. I've got a bunch of people saying hi. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to everyone from all over the world. And just be aware I'm reading these in order. Blindness Gaming says, we can hear you. Or, yeah. Yes. And yes, this is definitely working. Alright, so yeah, it looks like I'm caught up on comments and we're good to go. So I'm glad this is working as well as it is. Actually, this is pretty cool. OBS Studio is pretty damn cool as far as I'm concerned. So all right. Fair, Ferre, Ferre says, hello here from Belgium. Yep, that's that's pretty cool. The global audience is really, really cool, I have to say. Yeah, let's see. JB YouTube channel says, I'm thankful that I get to be here to chat with you live. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it. The internet is incredible. It truly is. Bryant says, I like OBS. Yeah, I do too. I haven't mastered everything about it. Like, I don't know how to pause. Well, I guess you can't pause when you are live streaming, but if you're trying to capture a video, I don't know how you pause as you're recording. Blind Life Gaming says, I'm here from the UK. Alright. Skittles are better than M&M's says, I would like to donate to work my PayPal. It's not working. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Ray, the blind gamer, says, "Is my comment working?" Yes, it is. Yeah, Bryant, I do not know how to pause OBS. I wish I could figure that out too. That's what he says. Thompson Office Production. I'm not sure what that is. Thompson Office Production Studios asks me what my opinion is on the GPD. Do you mean the GPD line in general? I think they're pretty good. I think the newer stuff is a bit expensive, but it's pretty cool. I have the original GPD Win that came out in 2016, and it's not the most powerful computer. Like I said, the new ones are much better. Mary Whitmare, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, asks me if I can do a tutorial on OBS. I can do an updated one. I should probably do that anyway, and take the old one down because this new method seems to work quite well. JB YouTube channel. Just a reminder, I think, JB YouTube says some of my tutorials, some of my recent tutorials are not on the website. Yeah, I've been lazy. I need to update that page. That is me being incredibly lazy. Got Big Blind Gamer and multiple people saying hi. What? Thompson Office asks, what are the specifications of the GPD Win? The one I have, it's got an Intel Atom processor. It's a quad-core Atom. It's got 64 gigs of RAM. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Not gigs of RAM. That was horrible. It's got 64 gigs of storage and only 4 gigs of RAM. I am so sorry. That was a extreme mistake on my part. That would be cool if it did have that much RAM, but no, it has that much storage. Yeah, Thompson, yeah, dictation does suck. I agree. That's why I don't use it, especially because I have a tendency to stutter, so I'm not a fan. Francis Cole says, hey, yep, hi, and welcome to the stream. Bryant says it would be cool if there was something to upload recordings to a website when they were recorded. You can probably do that through some automated means, I'm sure. I am not that skilled, so I have to build everything manually. But yeah, I will make an effort to update the tutorials page on the website, and I think I will do an updated OBS tutorial as well, explaining how to set up the live stream capabilities. Thompson saying he's been trying to look into buying a GPD Win, but not sure what to get. Well, the GPD Win Max is pretty cool, but it's very expensive. There's also the GPD Pocket, which is a bit cheaper. And the GPD Micro PC, which is even cheaper. Um, from from my experience, don't get the GPD Win 3 or newer because those have a touch keyboard. So I don't know. I mean, if money is no object, you could get the GPD Max or Win Max 2, which is an absolute monster. I wouldn't mind having that, but I'm not going to pay that much money for one. The GPD Micro PC is the cheapest one out there. I think it comes with it's either a Pentium or a Celeron processor, and it's got 8 gigs of RAM, and I think at least 128 gigs of storage. Jonin Music asks, why would you use dictation? I have no idea. Big Blind Gamer wants me to play Dreamland. No. I tried that game. It is incredibly boring. Mackenzie's asking about eSpeak on iOS 16. Yeah, I knew that you could get it. It runs okay. I wish it had inflection control. That would be kind of cool. It also works on Mac OS, though the Mac OS support is very buggy and it causes VoiceOver to lag like crazy. Yeah, I did install Ventura on my 2013 MacBook Air, but it ran like garbage, so I put Windows 11 back on it. When Apple says that your computer is not compatible, they really mean it. Yeah, Bryant, that is not 64 gigs of RAM. That is 64 gigs of storage. Thompson thought I had the original Win Max. No, I have the original Win. Yep, Bryant says the eSpeak on the Mac side causes issues. Yes, it does. That needs to be worked out. Yeah, eSpeak on Mac OS needs to get better. Francis Cole. I didn't. So he says that I can use virtual recorder to record both the microphone and system sounds. That's kind of cool. I haven't really looked at that program. Van Rans, what? Van Rans something. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. I would like to ask, wait, what? That got cut off. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. Yeah, so just keep in mind I am reading these in order, so bear with me. JB YouTube channel asked me the gigahertz for the GPD Win. I think the processor in mine is 1.6 gigahertz. I think it turbos up to like 2.5 or 6. So not the greatest processor in the world. Abhijit asks how to get eSpeak on iOS. If you go to AppleVis or audiogames.net, there is a link to a test flight page where you can install it. You'll need to install the test flight app on your iPhone or iPad, and then when you go into the website and you click on the link, it will launch test flight and ask you to agree to install the app. After you do that and you install it and run it, the voices should appear in your text-to-speech settings under eSpeak. So actually, I can show you real quick. We'll see if this actually works here. I've got do not disturb on too. That way I don't get bothered by people trying to call me. I do apologize for that last time. Let's show you how this works real quick. I'm gonna hit the button here to send my phone through.
Double tap. Learn. Voice. Speaking rate. Speech. Button.
Oh, let me do this.
Words. Character. Edit. Headings. Speaking rate. 55%. Speech. Button. Voice. Siri voice for United States. But
so I'm gonna go in here.
English. Joel. But Fred. Evan. Eloquence. Bruce. Ava.
Oh, and of course it's not working when I want to demo it.
FaceTime.
Let me open up the app.
Heading. Braille screen input. Orient E. S. Speak Ang. Opening Speak Ang. Portrait. Speak Ang. About. Button. Language selector. English America. Button. Pop-up button.
Yeah, so this app lets you choose the language and voice, and you can change things like the rate. I think you have to run it first, though, before you can access the voices. Now if I go...
Settings. Accessibility. Back.
If I go back into voiceover settings...
Voiceover. On. Voiceover. Learn. Speech. Button. Voice. Siri voice for voice. Evan. Button. Eloquence. Bruce. But Ava. Evan. Fred. Button.
Let me close the settings app.
App switcher. Settings. Close setting. Closing settings. App switcher.
Of course, now it's not going to work.
Settings.
Of course, it's not going to work right when I want to demo it.
Speak. Braille. Speech. Button. Voice. Siri voice selected. English. Evan. But speak Ang. Button.
Okay. There we go. So I had to restart the settings app.
Words. Speaking rate. Word. Edit. Headings. English. Australia. English. India. English. Ireland. English. Scotland. English. South Africa. English. UK. Daniel. Eloquent. Speak Ang. Button. English. Adam. Alex. Alicia.
So you've got a bunch of voices here.
Auntie. Belinda. David. Demonic. Dennis. Diogo. Ed. Edward. Edward 2. Edward. Edward 2.
Selected. Edward 2.
And that's a bug. It's using Samantha. Let me turn voiceover off.
Voiceover off.
Voiceover on. Settings. Caleb. Croak. David. Demot. Bennett. Dio. Ed. Edward. Selected. Edward. Selected. Edward. Edward 2. E-speak.
And actually, it's pretty responsive.
Female. E-speak. Selected. E-speak. Fast tech. Female 2. Brand. Guste. Half-Life. Henrique. Hugo. Half-Life announcement system. Reminders. FaceTime. Mail. 200 email. Not ring. Clock. 1:25 p.m. News.
Yep, so there's eSpeak on iOS.
TV. Apps. Wallet. Settings.
It's still kind of buggy, but there you go. Let's go back to comment reading. Thompson is asking if you can upgrade the RAM and SSD in the GPD Pocket. I don't know. RAM probably not. I think some GPD models have upgradable SSDs, but you'd have to research the specific model. Van Rens, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, asks, have I thought about making my own game and demoing it? I am not a programmer. I would love to, but I don't have the patience to write code. I would love to, but no, that's not likely. I tried to make an interactive fiction game, but that crashed and burned because I was trying to do things and it kept crashing or it wouldn't work right and I couldn't figure out how to code it, so I gave up on it. Thompson asks what the difference is between the WinMax and Max 2, and I already explained how to use eSpeak on iOS. I think the Max 2 has an AMD processor. The Max has an Intel i7. I think actually in the Max 2, the Max 2 has an octa-core AMD. Well, let me check real quick. We'll open up a new tab here. And we'll look for Amazon GPD WinMax 2. Yeah, I mean, it is a really nice machine. It's just really expensive. Let's Let's see. Ooh, $1,389. This has an AMD Ryzen AMD Ryzen 7 6800U, 8 cores, 16 threads, base speed of 2.7 gigahertz, max turbo up to 4.7 gigahertz, AMD Radeon 680M, which I assume is the graphics card. It's got a bunch of I/O. Thunderbolt 4, USB-C, USB-A, HDMI, SD, micro SD slots. Holy crap, this thing's a monster. It's got joysticks. It's got a 10.2-inch screen, so yeah, it's kind of big. It's about the size of maybe like an iPad. And I think it has 16 gigs of RAM. Let's see. We'll do a quick search here. Whoa, it's got 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte M.2 SSD. I think it's NVMe. Well, it doesn't say what type of storage, but yeah, that's a monster. Just to give you an idea. JB YouTube asks, how did I get Ventura on an unsupported Mac? There's a patcher program. It's called Open Core Legacy Patcher. John in Music says that Virtual Recorder is very good and nice to use. I think I've tried it, but it's been a very long time. Mackenzie Parker asks if RH Voice is on iOS. No, not to my knowledge, not yet. JB YouTube asks if I know what the Raspberry Pi is. Yeah, the Raspberry Pi, I have one. I don't really use it because I can't find a good operating system to use with it. But it's a single board computer about the size of a credit card. The board itself is about the size of a credit card. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB. It's got a couple of micro 8 HDMI ports. I think I said Ethernet port, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB, and you put the operating system on an SD card, and it traditionally runs Linux. I did try to run Windows, the ARM version of Windows, on the Raspberry Pi. Don't do that. It ran like absolute garbage. Even when I tried to boot it off of an external SSD plugged in through USB, it ran like absolute trash. The processor on the Pi isn't that great. It can't handle Windows. I did find Chrome OS for the Pi, but the Chrome OS version has some audio glitches, and it's not up to date. Yeah. Hi, Mark Hoffman, and welcome to the Q&A. Free PC audio recorder. Yeah, Brian, it says something about having problems with virtual recorder stopping if it detects silence. Khalil has a cheated version of Shooter. That's cool. Yep, got, let's see. Thompson asks if I recommend the GPD. It's pretty cool. I think if you can afford them, they're pretty cool. Obviously not for everyone though. I think they probably only appeal to people that are probably more technically minded. Me, I like having a true pocket PC, because this thing, well, the model I have is pocket sized. It's about the size of maybe a plus iPhone, like think the iPhone 8 Plus or 7 Plus. It's about that size. Mad Gamer asks if I'm using a Bluetooth audio receiver. I'm not using one right now. I have one. Bryant says it'd be nice if iOS... Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about eSpeak. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm lagging behind like crazy. Be nice if eSpeak spoke the voices as you move to them in iOS. Yeah. McKenna Charvid asks if there's new text-to-speech voices. No, there's just a bunch of eSpeak variants. Thompson's asking about eSpeak for voiceover. I showed that off. JB YouTube channel. Wait, you want me to unmute the desktop audio? What TikTok bug? I got someone asking me if I'm planning to play Tommy 13's games. I think that's how you say his name. I did buy Haunted Party. I'm waiting for him to fix a bug in the cloud mode and to change some more sounds. Thompson says my mixer's cool. Yeah, it works. He's also thinks the GPD Win Max 2 has a touch keyboard. I don't think so, but I don't know. Abhijit asking if I'm using headphones as the output device instead of Microsoft Sound Mapper. No, it's outputting through the mixer, but I have the desktop audio in OBS turned off. Mad Gamer says it'd be nice if you could add voiceover sound schemes or themes in iOS. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't think they're going to do it. Got someone asking me if I've ever created a website. Yep, I've got a website. It is christopherw.me. It's a very basic website, but it works. Nicholas says Raspbian with Orca works. I think he's talking about the Pi. I've had issues with it. Orca in general is not that great. It crashes a lot, and I have major problems with that. I used to use Raspberry Pi OS, but they came out with an update a while ago, and I couldn't get it to talk. It was a colossal mess. Also, I found out that I had to hook it up to a monitor in order for the text-to-speech to work properly, which is dumb. So I had to buy an adapter. I had to buy a a micro HDMI to VGA and HDMI adapter. That was kind of dumb. Philip is asking if I can do the space or light worlds in Crazy Party. I mean, I can, but a lot of those games are kind of hard, and I don't know how interesting that would be. JB YouTube asks how you can type on a pocket computer. The keyboard is very small. If you learn how it works, it's not too bad. I wouldn't type anything long on it, but it works okay if you're just trying to type a quick thing. It's basically like the old keyboards you'd have on those old phones from like BlackBerry and things like that. Mad Gamer. Oh, you're talking about an app called Bluetooth Audio Receiver on Windows? I haven't really messed with that. No, I have a piece of hardware that will do that. Hey, James says this is his first time catching this live. Mackenzie, I have no idea when RH Voice will be on iOS. James says you can use COK free MP3 recorder. I assume it records your input and output. Allows recording of default input, output, or both. Okay. Then Renrens asks if I'm gonna make another text-to-speech skit for Christmas. Yeah, I am. That's in the pipeline. I'll probably start working on it around December. I mean, I could do it right now. I'm just lazy. Thompson asks what my opinion on Pokemon is. Oh, geez, hang on. Oh, excuse me. What's my opinion on Pokemon? Don't really know because I can't really play it. Based off of the Manamon games, I guess it's okay. I wouldn't play it long term. It gets boring after a while. Oh yeah, so James said, yeah, he recommended that other MP3 recorder because Bryant mentioned having issues with Virtual Recorder. Abhijit asks, what is Virtual Audio Cable? It's a driver for capturing audio. So basically, think of it like a virtual mixer, I suppose. So you set the output of the program or the operating system to the device that gets created in software, and then you set the input to that same device. So like, say I was on Zoom and I wanted to capture audio from the computer. I would set the computer audio to the output device for virtual audio cable. And then in Zoom, I would set that as my microphone so that the audio playing through my computer would be picked up by Zoom and sent to all the participants in the Zoom call. The problem with software products like that is that if you're not careful, it's possible to lose your audio because you won't be able to hear it, because instead of it being sent to your default audio device on your computer, it will be sent to the software device, and if you don't have measures in place to monitor that, you won't be able to hear your computer. So I don't recommend people use it unless you're very comfortable and you know what you're doing. I think most people would be better served by buying a piece of hardware, because you plug it in, it works, you unplug it, your audio goes back to your computer. Hiro Suban, again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, asks, how did I get into IT? That's an interesting story. So, it was actually because of the school. So when I was in school, and this was probably when I was in elementary school, sorry. The school district gave me a Braille note. Now, for those of you that don't know, and obviously most of you probably do, most of this audience probably does, but for those of you that don't, the Braille note was and is basically, think of a PDA. So it's a personal data assistant with text-to-speech and a Braille. Well, the Braille note has a Braille display on it, so you can do things like write documents, play music. It has a calendar thing in there, so you can make appointments. It's got a calculator. You can manage files. Basically, I got the Braille Note M-Power, which was the product that came out in 2005. That was running on top of Windows CE, which is Microsoft's embedded operating system that they use on things like cash registers and cameras and all kinds of weird products. And essentially, I got access to that. The only thing they would teach me to do was composing documents, because the understanding was I'd be using this to write documents for school. But I had the opportunity to take it home with me, and I taught myself how to use it. And I think it was learning all the things that you could do that just intrigued me. And obviously the Braille notes up until the Braille Note Touch, which runs Android, they were very locked down. So what I found was I learned how to use all the capabilities of the M-Power, and then I was blocked because you couldn't really install programs or change anything that much. So then I went to Windows. I started using Windows XP. That was where I started playing audio games actually the first audio game I played was Entombed. And so, I started using XP, went to 7, hated 7, went back to XP. I got a Mac in 2013 because I heard about how cool they were. So I taught myself how to use Mac OS and how to use VoiceOver. And of course, then we got Windows 10, which improved narrator like crazy. So that's basically how I got started, and I've been teaching myself as I go. And I thought, well, this is a field that I do quite well in. Obviously, I went to IT training in Arkansas, got lots of practical experience there, and well, I'm back here. So it's not a matter of lack of qualifications or lack of knowledge. It's just people don't want to talk to me. As soon as I find out that, or as soon as they find out that I can't see, they just want nothing to do with me. It's sad, but that's basically it. Thompson asks if there's a way to purchase the Keynote Gold hardware. I have no idea. I don't think so. James Dean says you no longer have to have a display connected, and Ventura has gotten rid of the keyboard and mouse requirement. Well, you need a keyboard, obviously. I was talking about the Raspberry Pi, but yes, I hope that will be fixed as well. Or I hope that was fixed in Mac OS too, because that was dumb. Before I buy a Mac Mini, I'm going to ask Apple accessibility if I can do this. If I can take a Mac Mini M2, whenever that comes out, if I can take it out of the box, plug in a keyboard and maybe some headphones, and see if I can configure it on my own. And if they tell me I can, great. And if I can, that's great. If they lie to me, I'm going to be royally pissed. Mackenzie asks, when will we get the new Microsoft Natural Voices on other screen readers? I don't know. It's a different system. They won't tell us why. We'll just have to wait and see. Philip asks, what game do I hate the most? That is very hard. I don't know. Echoes from Levia was pretty bad. JB YouTube tells me what the TikTok bug is. So if you type in a certain phrase, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Well, let's try that. Let's go. Let's see. I'll go to YouTube. We'll pull up the thing real quick, and I will unmute my audio once I get there. So yeah, again, I do apologize if I'm lagging like crazy. I'm trying to go in order. Just bear with me. I will get to your comments. Let's look up. Let's find that online generator. Oh, come on, that popped up my playlist. Hold on. Where's my TikTok? Here's a TikTok skit. I just have to find the link real quick. Yeah, bear with me. Here we go. So you said if I type this into the generator, here, let's do this.
Not checked.
All right, so we'll turn that on.
TikTok TDS Brave. Edit multi-line The Fungus Among Us. Blank.
All right, so I'm just going to type this in here.
Combo box select a voice female, alto. Generate button.
We'll hit generate. And
Unable to play. Mute button. Play button. Pause. Play.
what the hell? Okay, that was weird. Also, what is causing... Why is... Oh, that's something else outside making all that noise. Okay.
TikTok TD.
Let me turn this off
OBS
here, and I will go
controls.
back to...
Audio mixer. Volumes. Mute desktop audio checkbox not checked.
I'll go back to comments here. Oh, that was someone outside making all that noise. James Dean says he uses Bluetooth audio receiver because he doesn't. You don't know what you're supposed to get. He's worried about getting a USB mixer that isn't accessible. The one I have is it doesn't have that many channels, but if you just need a basic mixer, it's the Behringer XENYX 302. You plug it into your computer through USB, and it works pretty good. The hell? Who's making that noise? Okay, that's someone outside making a bunch of noise. I apologize for that. Skittles are better than M&M's. Asks if I think Lenovo desktops are good. I don't have... Actually, I think I might have one Lenovo desktop. I guess they're okay. I'd say most computers are decent as long as you clean install Windows. Because if you clean install Windows, you will clear out all the bloatware and the crap that the manufacturer will put on your PC. James Dean, yeah. James Dean says on some machines using virtual audio devices can make your audio drivers unstable and cause blue screens. Yeah, like I said, I don't recommend using that stuff unless you know what you're doing and you're comfortable being able to fix your own problems. That's why I don't recommend it for less tech-savvy people, especially less tech-savvy blind people, because if you mess something up, you lose the audio from the screen reader, and you'll have to get someone with eyeballs to help you. Thompson's talking about he wishes the 2000 Braille note source code was available. Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. Thompson's also asking me my thoughts on the Mac desktop line. The iMac is very expensive. I don't think, as a blind user, it's not really practical. Although, when I was at World Services in Arkansas, they had a 2012 iMac, and that thing had some really nice speakers on it. I mean, I was like, holy cow. The iMac, though, I think the iMac is too expensive and it's not really practical for a blind person. The Mac Mini is much cheaper, and yes, you have to plug in your own monitor and your own keyboard and mouse, but you're getting basically the same experience for about half the price. James Dean says his first audio game was Shades of Doom. when it was distributed in 4 parts. I guess that was like on disc because of dial-up. Oh yeah, and I guess he also played Chillingham. Yeah, those aren't bad games at all. Mackenzie asking if any Braille note takers used Ivona as the speech engine. The Braille Plus 18 did, and I actually had one for a couple weeks. I got one loaned to me from, I think it was from Austin, Texas. It used Ivona. The problem with that thing was it was stuck on Android 2.3 and they never upgraded it. And also, it had some pretty major problems with Braille not tracking the speech. So, like, it would read dialogues with the speech, but the Braille display wouldn't keep up. But yeah, that was a neat product, but it never went anywhere. Just like all of other APH's hardware, it just crashed and burned. So don't buy hardware from APH. Well, I guess they're not selling hardware anymore, are they? The Touch Plus doesn't use what by default? Sorry, I'm lagging behind like crazy. Kevin wants me to do a stream where I play Shooter. No, because that game is boring. I did a demo of it. Thompson says people who reject you for your blindness are absolute douches. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would like to think most of it is because they don't know how to act or they don't know what to say, but it's like, well, how about you just talk to me? And if you have any questions, ask your questions. I don't care how stupid they are. But I agree with you, yeah, and they don't understand my true potential. But you just move on and keep hoping that you'll find some decent people, as few and far between as they may be. And honestly, the thing I want more than anything else in the world, even a job, obviously, is companionship, but you face the same problem there. Most people, let alone most women, won't talk to me because they see blind and they freak out. But, I don't know. Kevin says he has Ivona on his Touch Plus. How did you get that? Because as far as I know, Ivona for Android is only available on Amazon devices because they own it. James Dean says he'll get someone to test on M1. The OS is the problem, not the chip. Yeah, I'm guessing it's. Are you talking about the problem with the monitor? Yeah. Thompson thinks the Braille Sense 6 is better. Yeah, I guess so, but it's stuck on Android 10, which Android 10 is quickly becoming obsolete. Yes, Bryant says Hims does a better job with their hardware. I agree. Their software support still sucks. Leander wants me to unmute audio. No, I'm not going to do that because that would just get crazy. Mackenzie, yeah, I was using Sally. I'm on a different computer, and I'm running this because OBS won't run on my primary computer because it has a hissy fit about the GPU. And yeah, no, I would use Ivona. I just don't have it installed on this computer. Yeah, I agree. Android 8 in 2022 is absolutely, well, it's sad. I mean, to be fair, it was kind of old in 2019. Now it's just really old. And someone told me that Humanware has no plans to update it, which just figures. Just like I bet you HIMS has no plans to update past Android 10. If they do, they're going to come out with, you guessed it, new hardware. And it'll be on Android 12 or Android 11, I guarantee you. I don't know what's up with these companies not being able to keep up with modern technology, but it is ridiculous. JB YouTube says Acapella got rid of Infovox iVox, but maybe it'll come back with the new API. Yeah, maybe. So for those of you that don't know, Infovox iVox was a way to get the acapella voices on Mac OS, but they discontinued it. So it might come back, it might not. We shall see. Thompson's asking how much acapella for Mac was. I think each voice was a few dollars. I'm not sure though. James asks, how long have I had that? How many channels does it have? I think you're talking about the mixer. I've had the mixer since 2017, and it's got I think it's got up to 5 channels. There's the XLR for the microphone. There's a standard microphone port that's mono. There's the main mix, which is what my computer uses. There's the, I think I talked about the patch cord sound. So if I plug in like my phone, I can press a button and patch that through. And there's another channel that you can activate, but if you do, it disables the computer channel. So you can use the 2 RCA channels on the mixer board itself, or you can use one and the software device inside of an operating system. So I think there's about 5. JB YouTube channel asks if I'm going to play Angel Gift. I can try to play it again for Christmas. Someone also wanted me to do a standalone tutorial for The Great Toy Robbery 2, so I can do that too. Kevin asks if I've used or had an iPad. I've used iPads. I don't like them. The screen is too big. Way too big. I find it's very hard to find things by touch. So, again, I think if you're blind, the iPad isn't really that practical. The only thing it might be good for is if you're doing Braille screen input, because you have more room to put your fingers down to type the Braille dots. SendGamer asks if I've downloaded the Savage Gamut. Yeah, I think it's just an installer. So you got to run the installer. It installs, and it installs a bunch of stuff. It installs a few different game modes, and you have to choose the one to play. But that game is very complicated. It made my head hurt. Yeah, Brian's talking about HIMS updating Android. Yeah, they're not going to do it, I guarantee. They say they will, but they're not. Skittles are better than M&M's. Asks if I'm totally blind. Yes, I've been totally blind. I was born 3 months premature, so yeah, I am totally blind. I have no usable vision whatsoever. No light, nothing. Philip says Microsoft Sam should get Windows 11. Oh no, I'm going to have to make that. That's going to send him over the edge. JB YouTube channel says I should try to complete Heartbeat Regret. Yeah, I did. The book level is ridiculous because if you don't type quickly enough, the monster will get you. I don't like that. I played that game once. That is enough. I don't want to have a nervous breakdown. Bryant says I'm behind on comment reading. Yes, I know. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. James Dean's talking about the iMac. Yeah, all the components in the iMac are in one package. Yep. Yes, Van, being blind does give me a very different perspective on the world, and at this point I wouldn't trade it for anything. What is Microsoft Zero? I don't know what you use Microsoft Zero means. Yeah, I am really behind. I'm sorry, you guys. Which Ivona voice did it use by default? I think it was Sally. If you're talking about the Braille Sense Plus. RBG asks if you can use the Xbox. Yeah, you can. It's got narrator. Thompson's trying to find a smaller computer. The GPD stuff. I don't know. There's some really tiny desktop computers from like Nook. Intel Nook. But I've never tried them. Leander's asking if I can play Alexa games. Cancel. No, I don't like very many of them, and I stutter too much. I'm not a major fan. Okay, James Dean was talking about the mouse thing for the Mac. Yeah, I really hope they do fix that. Venrant, cheer up. Everything is a treasure, including yourself. Yeah, no, like I said, I don't care what most people think. I really don't. But there is that need to have connection with at least one person, and that's what's driving me crazy. Humanware, I mean, shitware. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure what that's comments about. You can organize a screen reader only radio. You can get APKs for Ivona from some website. Yeah, I don't know if I trust that. Sandgamer is talking about the Razer Mini. I don't know what that is. I guess it's a laptop. JB YouTube, is there a main site? I think their site is gpd.hk, but if you want to buy their products, probably best to buy them through Amazon. James, yeah, using the RCA, using one of them disables the main mix. The other one works regardless. Yeah, I don't know. I think just because this mixer board wasn't cheap, or it is cheap rather. It's less than $100. That's probably where they had to cut corners. Yeah, Thompson, Nintendo should definitely add a screen reader to the Switch. I agree. I don't think they're going to. Nintendo has demonstrated they don't care, so I don't care about them. I think Nintendo is violating the ADA and the CVAA. I don't know how they're getting around that. Maybe because they're not a company based in the United States. I don't know. I don't know how they're violating those things and getting away from it. But I suspect, like I said, I suspect it's because they are based in Japan, and in Japan they live in their own world basically. Michael Thomas is asking if I've used voiceover recognition on iOS. I used it a little bit. The problem is that shouldn't be an excuse to not make your apps accessible. Also, it's not perfect either. So I tend not to use it very much because I think developers should be doing the work to make their apps compliant with accessibility guidelines. Mackenzie says he meant Zira. Yeah, I'm using that voice right now. James Dean said he was born at 23 weeks. Oof. Wow. Okay. JB YouTube asks what voice does Raspberry Pi OS use? By default, it's eSpeak because it's Linux. And yes, I use Microsoft Zira. That's what I'm using right now. iOS game content, something about your teacher asking you lots of questions. And he or she is the only blind person in high school. Yeah, no, people that ask questions, that's a good thing, because the only way that we learn is by asking questions. And if no one asks questions, well, how do you expect to get things done? But I don't know. Super Candle Kid? Super Adventures with Kendall. Super Adventures something asked, why don't I think Sortie Quest is interesting? Because it's an RPG and I get bored of those. Okay, Brian's eating lunch. Skittles better than M&M's. Asks if I know how to get NVDA voices for free. I mean, there's some free ones out there, but the commercial ones you have to pay for. And I don't support piracy, so sorry. Mackenzie wants me to do something with VW Julie versus Microsoft Anna. Why? I can, but okay. So yeah, James Dean says Nintendo isn't. They're not based in the U.S. So okay, so I guess that only applies to companies in the U.S. So yeah, so until they have a bill or a law here that says that you can't sell inaccessible products. Okay, so that's how they're dodging it, because they're not here. They don't have to comply. Okay, that makes sense. Super Adventures with Candle Kid. Yeah, no, like I said, that Sortie Quest game, it doesn't sound that intriguing to me. Not really. Michael Thomas asks, how long have I been using VoiceOver on the iPhone? About 10 years now. I started using it in 2012. McKenna Charvid says she gets nervous to ask questions. Well, I mean, yeah, it might be a stupid question, but I mean, the only way that you learn is by asking. That's why, I'm here to answer all your questions. If you want to contact me, by all means, please get in touch. If you have concerns, ask me, and I will try to work with you to address those concerns and to make things work. But to just have people just ignore me is just dumb. And it's like, okay, so you really don't care then. Okay, well, next. JB YouTube, why did Anna sound so choppy in my Microsoft Sam Destroys Windows 7? I think I had a broken version. I'm not really sure. I was running it on Windows XP. I'm not sure. Yep, by asking questions you learn. That is exactly right. Leander asks, when did the Western drama come out? Yeah, To the Dragon Cave is on Android. I think a Western drama came out in 2019. I forget. CD would like to see a thing about Julie and Microsoft Anna. Oh dear. James says he had Windows Mobile before and then got an iPhone 4. Yeah, I started with the iPhone 4. I never used Windows Mobile or Symbian, and I'm glad I didn't, because it sounded like a pain in the ass to install the screen reader and do all that crap. Mackenzie wants the Amazon Echo to destroy Microsoft Anna. McKenna Charvid says she's been subscribed to the channel for a long time. Yeah, I hope you do enjoy the content. That's the whole point, is I put this out here in the hopes that it helps at least one person. Or that's always the goal. And I think it's cool that people want to talk to me. And I mean, I've talked to people, I've met all kinds of people on here from all over the place. So yeah, if you want to talk to me, just send me an email and we can go from there. Blind Games World says play AEW. I don't know what AEW is. JB YouTube wants me to make a skit where Microsoft Sam turns Windows 11 into a bologna sandwich. That'd be funny. I should do that. iOS game content asking about what platforms I recommend for books. I like Bookshare. Bookshare is pretty cool. They have a ton of books. They started adding audiobooks back in July, or I think it was either June or July or May. I use Audible. You can get books from Kindle. You can get books from Apple Books. That's pretty cool. Brian's asking how you add new voices to narrator. Yes, you have to be running Windows 11 and specifically the version of Windows 11 that came out back in September. Kevin says the first video he watched was Audio Defense. Yeah, that was a cool game, but it's gone now, which is sad. Kevin's asking me what my email is. So it is on the website at christopherw.me, but it's christopher.j.wright, the number 4 at gmail.com. That is very important. Don't forget the number 4 or you will get someone else. So it's christopher.j.wright, the number 4 at gmail.com. Yeah, I am not impressed with a Western drama, and I've explained why. Yep. Blind Games World wants me to play Adventure and Exploration World. Not sure what that's in reference to. Crazy Party? James Dean has the IPA files for the something else games. Yeah, they may or may not work on modern iOS versions. I don't know. But you'd have to install them manually. Anmol from Nepal. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Yeah, welcome to the channel and welcome to the live stream. No, I am not. Leander's asking me if I'm in Austin, Texas. No, I am in Houston, Texas. CD says, yeah, he was late to the iPhone party. Yeah, the iPhone 5S is pretty cool, I have to admit. I suppose its time is over, but it was a pretty big milestone. So yeah. Mackenzie says Ivona versus RH Voice. I don't know. JB YouTube channel, Munawar has officially declared Treasure Hunt and TDV archived? So I guess he's not going to work on them anymore. Okay then. I figured as much. I'm not sure. It's a new game that you can demonstrate. It says Blind Games World. Philip asks if I have a copy of The Great Cheese Robbery. Not anymore. James Dean knows how to install, I assume, the something else games. Yeah, they may or may not run on modern iOS. I don't know. Well, the best version to run those games on is probably iOS 10 or 9. Probably 10 at the latest. Amal is asking if there's any game available like Candy Crush. There's Blindfold Color Crush on iOS. Yeah, The Great Cheese Robbery, James. It's I demoed it a while back. It's kind of a neat game. I think you're on a board and you have to roll dice and you have to find cheese. It's kind of cool. I think it's on the Audio Games Archive. Leander likes the Alex voice when it laughs. Yeah, it makes a weird sound. JB YouTube. I think Hellhunter won't come out until a few weeks later. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The developer is making an actual video game right now. Okay. Oh, look, I'm caught up on comments. Yay! Good, I'm caught up on comments. Yep, Hearthstone access is gone. I knew that was going to happen. This is why I don't advocate mods and using things like JAWS scripts to make your programs work properly. No, it is a band-aid at best, and that's not how we should be making the world better. It's just not. Yeah, so, yep. Hearthstone, I mean, there's a patch out now, but after it breaks, that's it. So, enjoy it while you can. I feel sorry for people that spent money on that game, because it is obvious to me that Blizzard doesn't care. They do not care about blind users. So as far as I'm concerned, Blizzard can go shove it. Now, if they prove us wrong, that would be wonderful. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Blind Games World wants me to do more Microsoft SAM stuff. Like I said, I have to have the motivation. I did a few this year. Why is Hearthstone access gone? Well, Philip, the developer can't keep up with the changes anymore. JB YouTube asks, how does the demo version of JAWS know when you restart? I don't know, but honestly, it's not that hard to restart your computer. Mackenzie asks if there's a skill on the Echo to play XP sounds. I doubt it. Yeah, no, James, I feel sorry for people that did put money into Hearthstone. I'm glad that you didn't. And I didn't either. I didn't really like the game either. I tried it a year and a half ago or something like that, and I wasn't particularly impressed. It seemed very unbalanced. Let's see here. How many people we got watching here? Okay, we're doing okay. iOS Gamer asking if I have the Nebula game. No, I don't. I don't Well, I had it. I don't know if it even works anymore on modern iOS. Why do I like games without DRM, even though I don't support piracy? Well, it's because DRM is a pain in the ass, and I think it causes more issues for the honest customer than it does to actually stop piracy. I really do. And like I said, if you sell your games without DRM, I respect you more as a developer. Yeah, I tend to agree. Uh, unless you need JAWS for something very specific, like a program in your job has to be made accessible, or you need to use one of the specialized things in JAWS, like the speech manager, to customize how it presents information. It's not worth it. And the problem, I guarantee you, is most people don't even know about many of the advanced JAWS features. So yeah, I think for the vast majority of people, and NVDA works just fine. Mackenzie asks, how do you uninstall programs from Windows 11? The same way you do in 10. You can either do it through programs and features in the control panel, or through apps and features in settings. iOS game content says the game still works on current iOS. I assume that means the Nebula. Blind Games World, how many computers do I have? I have, well, just in front of me, I've got like 8. And that's not even counting the stuff that's in the closet. And, yeah, we have a lot of computers. JB YouTube, next week you should do a Q&A with the family. I can get my dad maybe to do it with me. Yeah. That might be the only other person. Maybe my mom too, but probably not Kathy, just because she'd be very loud and jabber and get distracted by all kinds of things. Like I said, she's 22 years old, but she has the mindset of a 10-year-old at best, and like a 5 or 2-year-old when she has meltdowns. Blind Games World says, "Hey, I only have one computer." Yeah, well, the reason we have so many is because my dad goes out and looks for things that people toss out, and you would not believe how many computers are just tossed out. James Dean says NVDA's object navigation has the JAWS cursor beat. Yeah, I think I kind of tried messing with the JAWS cursor and it was really weird. Object navigation is even better, I would say, even than the touch cursor in JAWS. JB YouTube, how often do you think you'll make Q&A videos? I mean, I've been going pretty strong for a while. I've been trying to kind of do it every week now. I mean, I guess it just depends. I think eventually I might get tired of it. Mackenzie says she uses the JAWS home license. I guess that's okay. I wish they would move that JAWS home license to the entire world, but last I checked, it's only available in the US and Canada, which is pretty stupid. JB YouTube, does using a cane in public make it impossible to get a girlfriend? No, I don't think so. It's just, like I said, most people see blind. They don't know how to react. I don't know. James Dean says touch cursor is pretty good. Yeah, I've messed with it. It works okay. I refuse to pay for JAWS out of principle. They have demonstrated that they are more than willing to buy up all of their commercial competition and cancel it so that they can sell their own products. That leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. They are anti-competitive. Well, let's just say anti-competitive at best and monopolistic at worst, at least in terms of the commercial market, because they've basically made themselves the only player. I mean, yeah, I guess you've got Dolphin, but Dolphin isn't really well known. Mackenzie doesn't use eloquence. Okay, yeah, that's up to you. JB YouTube says there's a video on YouTube of Microsoft Sam singing "Never Gonna Give You Up." That song makes me cringe. Yeah. iOS game content. I don't think a cane prevents you from getting a girlfriend in public. No, it doesn't. No, it depends on the person. And, I like to think that there are people out there. You just got to find them, and maybe it's just a matter of you never know until it happens. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out, I suppose. Problem I have is I think about trying to go places and meet people, and it's like, well, let's see, I could go to bars, but I don't like bars, and it seems like the more intelligent types of people that I would want probably wouldn't be at bars or clubs. So I mean, I don't know, but I guess we'll just we'll have to wait and see. Lines from that song. And yes, I am thinking of a full commitment, definitely so. James Jean's talking about more organizations discovering NVDA. Yeah, I do. I think there's no reason that you couldn't use NVDA in a work environment. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. And I think it takes time. The big problem to me is I think JAWS has been top dog for so long that unless people investigate alternate options, they have no idea of what's out there. And also, NVDA add-ons are not necessary. I have like 2 add-ons installed, and NVDA works just fine. Leander's talking something about Psycho Strike. I'm not sure. CD says he hasn't seen Dolphins since 2013. Yeah, I don't know how popular they are. I thought they were mostly popular in the UK. Armando Vias, have you heard Get Money by Young Gravy? No, is that rap or pop? Freedom Scientific is not going to stop using eloquence. There are way too many people that like it for some reason. Blind Games World's asking if I still have Dice World or Dungeons and Such. I don't think I've ever played Dungeons and Such. I do have Dice World, but I haven't used it in a long time. JB YouTube, yeah, I do. I do vote as a blind person. I think it's important to be able to do that so that you can have your say. Absolutely. All the times I've done it, it's worked pretty well. They have the voting machines that you plug your headphones into, and you turn a wheel, and it has prompts to choose choose your different options. The audio quality could be a lot better, but it works. Oh, and also the voting machines also have Braille on them, and it will give you audio instructions if you're if you need help too. So that's pretty cool. Thompson Office, do you think smart glasses like eSight could help people with total blindness? Isn't eSight for low vision people? I mean, maybe. I would depend on what you did with them. If the glasses could link to something like Ira, absolutely, because then you could wear the glasses on your head, and you could turn your head and see different, you could turn your head, and the Ira agent or the person helping you, say at Be My Eyes, could see from the perspective of the camera on your face, which would make things quite handy and quite helpful. I know the Envision glasses link up with Ira. The problem with the Envision glasses is they're like $2,500, and I don't know why they're so expensive. That is ridiculously high. I think if we could get to the point where you could buy a pair of smart glasses, say for, maybe a couple $100, and then pair that to your phone, I think that would be much better. Leander asked, why don't I talk with Garrett? Like I said, I don't really know if I should talk too much about that. He just... He would get upset a lot, and I got tired of his outbursts, and I met him at the NFB convention in 2019, and he didn't really want to do much with me at all except for talk to me. And then he was talking to other people at the same time, and we would go to restaurants, and he wouldn't want to do that. I was just like, okay, buddy. I mean, I know I'm not the most sociable person, but good grief. And actually, now that I think about it, for those of you that asked me what the craziest thing I've done, probably going to that stupid convention in Vegas. I mean, it was kind of cool because I went there and I was pretty much on my own. I mean, I went with Austin, but it was ridiculous because I get there, everything is overpriced. The people I tried to talk to concerning employment either said they had something and then never got back to me, or they wanted me to move to different places like San Francisco. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, are you going to pay me enough money to not only travel to work, but to live there and buy food and pay for rent and all this other crap? I'm like, yeah, you're funny. Also, of course, the whole NFB thing just, it gave me a very poor impression of the organization because, you know, okay, why would you make a bunch of blind people travel halfway across the country to a place that is very expensive when you know that on average blind people are either not employed or they are underemployed? Also, that hotel, they had it at the Mandalay Bay in 2019, and that place is ridiculous. I was walking around with someone, and I was told that it's basically... I forget what the guy told me. He was like, it's a city in and of itself. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, it was very annoying because I had to have help to get to pretty much anywhere that I wanted to go because, as I've said before, my spatial navigation isn't that great. And it was just absurd. And then, of course, I went to the stupid banquet dinner, and I paid $75 and got some crappy chicken, and had to listen to the president of the NFB. He was spewing a bunch of crap for an hour, and the only thing I can remember is he was like, oh, at the airport, if you're blind, you shouldn't ask anyone to help you. And I'm like, what? It's like, that is your choice, but, well, and that's the problem I have with the NFB and all of these different organizations, is they claim to speak for blind people, but no, you don't, because you do not speak to me. You do not represent me. I am me. So I was I was rubbed quite the wrong way. And of course, it's probably gotten even worse now. Last I heard, ACB is requiring that in order to go to their conventions, you have to have the COVID-19 vaccine, which the only thing I will say about that is it is your personal choice to either have it or not have it. And if you choose not to have it, you should not be you shouldn't be marginalized just because you chose not to do it, because that is a personal health choice that each person needs to make. So yeah, like I said, I was not impressed. I met Garrett there, and I was not impressed meeting him in person. So yeah, and you know, it just goes to show that you never know until you spend time with people in person. All right, let's keep going here. If you will excuse my quite long monologue there. Intelligent people don't go to bars? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends, but I've never liked the concept of, oh, I'm going to go to a bar and get wasted. Why? Thompson's asking what the best way for a blind person to make money. You know, I don't know. I've had the best luck online. I've been writing app reviews for bridgingapps.org. It is a website that has a bunch of apps on it, and they classify them into different categories for different types of disabilities. And I got connected with the people there, and I've been writing stuff since 2019, and I don't make a lot of money, and it's not constant, but I make $150 for every 3 or 5 app reviews that I submit. So I mean, it's more money than I've gotten anywhere else. I think, and this is why I don't know why this hasn't really been explored, but I think honestly the best thing for blind people would be doing something online. And why? Well, because you don't have to waste money on travel. You don't have to waste money on food. And, you know, I would have thought all the stuff that's been happening over the past 2 years might have helped with that. But I haven't really heard, you know, organizations like the NFB, I haven't heard them talk about, oh, we need to concentrate on employment. Oh, hang on. My sister is having a meltdown. I apologize. But yeah, no, I haven't heard them talk about, you know, oh, we need to concentrate on making employment better for blind people. I mean, you know, why aren't they pressuring Microsoft and Apple to make all of their tools more accessible? You know, why aren't they pressuring Microsoft to make Hyper-V work better? I I don't know. Of course, it doesn't help either that no matter what we seem to do, people just don't want to talk to us. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Thompson's asking if I recommend the Apple at Home Advisor job. No. I have heard it is not accessible. That's something I think that Apple could do, and they could do it very well. They could set up a system where you, as a Mac user, could control another Mac using VoiceOver. But they haven't done that. Again, I don't know where the priorities are, but obviously the priorities at these companies are not really on employment. Bryant just had some Hot Pockets. Okay. Hot Pockets are pretty good for you. Or, I like them. I don't understand your question about Psycho Strike. Mackenzie doesn't use eloquence. Yeah, I don't like it either. Yep, I agree, James. The Envision glasses are expensive. Thompson's talking about you put glasses on and it would send stuff to your brain. Yeah, we haven't gotten there. There's still a lot that we don't know about the brain, so we don't know. Mackenzie says Amazon has smart glasses. Yeah, but I don't know if they're accessible, and Ira and those guys haven't really partnered with them. James Dean likes eloquence. That's good. I don't know what the Amazon smart glasses are. Leander's asking if I can send the link for Pitch Black. They're on the video. They're in the descriptions for the videos on YouTube. You can go purchase the game. I don't know if Pitch Black is on Android. I thought I included the links in the video description. Something about drinking and listening to rock music. Yeah, I mean, that's your choice to drink. I've never found it to be that enjoyable. The only drink I can kind of tolerate is a White Russian. And like I said, I find I can do lots of other things that give me the same high that drinking does. So, oh, and bacon cheeseburgers, yes, are very good. Brian's talking about the notifications manager in JAWS, where you can have it customized the way that it reads them, or you can turn them off altogether. I think that was added in 2022. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice feature. Not worth $9.99 plus the SMAs, but okay. Thompson Office says something about self-driving cars and Elon Musk. Accessibility in self-driving cars. See, I don't even think that's a thing yet. Not really. the problem with self-driving cars, and I think this is going to be a pipe dream. The problem is that they won't be practical until most of the population has them and can use them. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Bryant says, yeah, he thinks the NFB is very much against the asking people for help. I mean, that's fine, but that to me seems more like a personal view. You know, if your choice is to do as much as you can on your own, that's great. But you do not say, oh, we represent the views of all blind people. No, you do not. You do not represent me. You do not represent me. I represent myself. You don't say, oh, if you're blind, you have to use JAWS and you have to work with a company that has very, very, let's just say, very nasty business practices. No, you do not speak for me. Not at all. I don't like that kind of cult mentality, and that's the vibe I get off of lots of these groups, which is why I don't really join groups. Just no. Thompson says he misses window eyes. Yep. A clear example of their practices. Oh, let's buy the competition. Let's get rid of it. And let's make a ton of people that used it use JAWS because we can. That's very, very, very nasty. Just no. Sightless Master says, what's the biggest audio game ripoff? Blind Fisherman. Oh, I think I tried that. That was dumb. It like read something out to you. It was stupid. The NFB is the National Federation of the Blind in the United States. I think they have a much better name, which I will not say here. They are supposed to be a blindness advocacy organization, just like the American Council of the Blind. If you're in the UK, I think the equivalent over there is the RNIB, which is the Royal National Institute of the Blind, and Canada has the Canadian National Institute of the Blind, I think. So yeah, that's basically what they are. Yep. Yeah, Thompson, I absolutely agree in terms of JAWS pissing you off. Their policies are just awful. They're trying to use a business model from like 25 years ago. Yeah. Leander wants me to play something called Rosemary's Fate. Isn't that only available through Steam? Because if it is, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to pay Valve. Yeah, I am not impressed with the NFB. Not at all. Especially because I paid that much money at their stupid banquet and they served me chicken. That was just That was adding insult to injury. I was like, really? Chicken? Chicken? I paid $75 and you gave me chicken. And it was like nasty chicken too. It was like... Thompson Office Productions. How do you get enrolled for bridging apps? Someone sent me a contact. I'm in contact with a lady who I submit apps to. You might want to contact them if you go to bridgingapps.org. There should be a contact link and you can get in contact with them. The way it works and the way I've done it is I basically choose the apps that I want to write for. And I write basically, maybe a page or a page and a half, kind of explaining how the app works and providing some comments at the end. Like, this app could be good for people trying to learn how to do something new. Or I remember I did I wrote one for the Google Home app. And at the end of it, I said, the ability to control smart home products is quite helpful for people that might be blind or those who might be paraplegic. So it's basically, I find apps that I think are kind of interesting, and I write up a brief description of them, how they can be used, and how they might help people. So yeah. McKenna Charvet says, I'm blind and I portion food at a restaurant. Yeah, the problem I have is I have a skill set. I have a skill set that I've been honing for the last 12 plus years. And I want to use it. I have certifications from Microsoft and CompTIA, and I would like to use that. So it seems to me like accepting something less than that is just a waste of both my talent and my time. But I suppose it depends on the thing that you want to do, and if you can convince people to give you a try. And that's always my problem, is just, I'm always here. If you have questions, ask. If you have concerns, talk to me. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. I'm happy to try this for a month, and if it doesn't work out, well, then it doesn't work out and we move on. But you never know until you try. And the problem is people just don't want to deal with me. They don't want to talk to me. I don't know. Yeah, 150. It's not bad. It's not bad. I could tell you what's going on with the NFB. Yeah, I've heard there's lots of Yeah, lots of sexual stuff happening, which, if that's true, that's awful. The reason I don't talk about that stuff is just because, I think in polite company, you just don't bring this up, and it prevents unnecessary. It prevents unnecessary confrontation and animosity. So it's like, I don't talk about that stuff until I know that I can trust the person and the person has common sense and won't blow up at me and go, "Da, da, 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 da." Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with people that go batshit crazy if you say something that they don't like. No, thank you. Right, Brian, exactly. Organ- an organization can't tell me what to do. No, you are in charge of yourself. And the NFB says you shouldn't use pre-boarding. Yeah, no, the NFB can go to hell, okay? It's 150, I think, every 5. Problem is, I can't find a whole lot of apps to genuinely write about, because I try to find apps that actually mean things to me and that I actually like and I would want people to know about. So it's not that easy. Yeah, trying to work at Apple is like trying to, I don't know, it's like it's like trying to master rocket science. They're looking for very specific people, and if you don't match their criteria, you're not going to get in. Also, like I said, the at-home advisor, last I checked, the tools they use are not accessible with VoiceOver. That's what someone said a while back. Also, you're not going to get a job until you're at least 18, so there is that. Mastren and BTech says here in the UK we get benefits, disability benefits to cover the cost of living. Yeah, so so I get that too. We get that every month, and that helps to pay for bills and things like that. So I've got that. I've got the money coming in from bridging apps. I got some money from the EEOC as well, because I'm sorry if you can hear all that in the background. I can't do much about that. But I got like $6,000 from a company. So the way that this went, and I thought this was quite sad, but I applied for a technical support job, I think last year, and it was something that you were meant to do online, right? And I thought, okay, cool, maybe this will work. They got back to me very quickly. I went through the interview process, and I had some problems with a few questions. They had like some questions in there and it was like, oh, explain what these terms mean, but the content was a graphic. So I wrote to them and I said, I am blind. I use screen reading programs on my computer, and I can't access the question. I would be happy to provide the answers to these questions if you provide it to me in a different format. The response I got back was, oh, you need to wait until we make a determination, which was probably the first flag right there. And then, of course, they come back at me with a canned thing that says, oh, we don't think that you're the right fit, blah, 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 which is, of course, in my mind, it's code for you're blind and we don't want to deal with you, but we can't tell you that because that would violate the ADA. So I filed a complaint with the EOC. Well, come July, I'm talking to someone on Zoom. I'm talking to someone from the company, and they wouldn't do it. So, it's just sad. And what happened was they paid me money, and I went away. And it's sad that we live in a world where you have people that say, oh, you need to treat everyone the right way, and yet if you're blind, well, that doesn't matter. It's a little hypocritical, don't you think? Thompson asked if I started help desk. No, I can't do anything because no one will talk to me. Or they will talk to me and then they'll ignore me or say, oh, you don't qualify. We found better candidates. Yep, I talked about the benefits. It's through the Social Security Administration. VirtualBox 7 is a little more accessible. Yeah, we'll see. Mackenzie asks, any smart glasses that use eloquence as the TTS? Not that I know of. JB YouTube says he has the way to spell supercalifragilistic. JB YouTube, does your sister drink No, she doesn't drink any kind of alcohol. Not that I know of. That's probably a good thing, because I don't know what a drunk copy of her would be like, but probably not good. And I've had drinks, but I've known when to stop because I don't want to get drunk. I don't want to find out what might happen to me. I like to keep my brain at maximum capacity as much as I possibly can. Thompson's talking about iPads. Yeah, unless you know what you want to do on an iPad, it's probably not worth it. Duh. JB YouTube, I think it's funny how you say you'll go for half an hour and then you go for 3. Yeah, well, it is what it is, right? I get to talking about all kinds of things, and it's just fun. Thompson says it's the NFB that sued Apple, which is why we have voiceover. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that that's how that had to start, but they're also the reason narrator exists. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. JB YouTube asks if Freedom Scientific will buy NVDA. I doubt it. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they tried, and that would make my blood boil. At this point, I wouldn't put anything past these people because it's been clear to me that they don't care about helping blind people as much as trying to make a profit, and it's really sad. It's really sad. I just thought it was ridiculous that it was $5. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I can't find a link on the description. It should be in the description. I put links to the App Store, itch.io, and I think Steam for Pitch Black. Oh yeah, and Brian's talking about some NFB resolution in 2016. Yeah, I think I remember that vaguely. Yep. Well, like I said, the less I say about the NFB, the better. Kevin says, I don't know about a beta of Fruit Pot 2. I have no idea. Thompson says audio games are getting boring. I agree. That's why I'm not really playing much anymore, because I've played all the good ones. I know I'm falling way behind on comments. I'm trying to keep up. One app on Bridging Apps is $30, I think. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up, but do I use Microsoft David Desktop? No, I'm not a fan. I prefer Zira. JB YouTube asked if I'd be interested in buying an Echo Show 10. No, we have too many as is. We have like 12 of them. So, no. Is Psycho Strike on Android? No, it is not. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm lagging like crazy. What am I talking about? All kinds of things. Thompson, do you have to be 18 for bridging apps? I don't know. You would have to ask them. I was 21 when I started writing app reviews with them. Yes, I know I'm behind on comments. I can't really do much about that. Same thing happened with Amazon customer service. Ahmed says, Rosemary's Failed is available on Android. I don't know. Yeah, Brian's asking if I thought about trying to start my own business. No, I did, but it seems like too much effort, and trying to market to people that already don't care because I can't see. Just seems like too much effort. Hero Supan asks how old I am. I am 25. It's me, Kevin. Do I still use Telegram? I'm kind of on there, but it's mostly for people to reach me at. I don't really use it that much. Yep, I agree. It's sad. It really is that they couldn't take the time to, you could have had a person call me on the phone and read some questions. Okay, and I will tell you the answers. But they couldn't even do that. No, they gave me money and told me to go bye-bye. Yeah, yep, it's sad. The Disability Act of 2010, Master Aaron and BTEC, something about an act that requires which demands all businesses, institutions, and organizations employ a certain number of people with disabilities. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that honestly does anything, though. Just like the ADA is supposed to keep people from discriminating against people with disabilities, but it doesn't really do anything because people find all kinds of loopholes. Mackenzie, something about commentary screen reader for Windows? No. Just no. Yes, I know I'm way behind on comments. Brian's asking about the difference between David and David Desktop. I don't know. Something about... I think one is for SAPI 5 and the other one is for their newer Microsoft Mobile. 91.5, the Phoenix says something about the NFB left him standing in the rain, waiting at a bus stop for a bus because they were trying to help him find a job. Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. It depends. I don't know. I might go read after I'm done here. Mackenzie Parker, do I have Eva? Microsoft Eva? No. I could probably unlock it, but I'm not a fan of that voice. Not really. Yeah, no screen readers in the Middle East? Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of crap. Oh, look, I'm caught up on comments. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm caught up on comments. Yeah, damn, that was kind of ridiculous. Whew. Yeah, no, it sounds like Amazon was just telling you what everyone else does. Nope, we don't know how to deal with that, so we're just not going to. And then you wonder why I've lost the motivation to look for jobs, because it seems like no matter how many times I try to put my best foot forward, no one cares. No one cares. Andreas says RIP Hearthstone. Yeah, well, if Blizzard would do the right thing and make it accessible, this wouldn't be an issue. But Blizzard has made their stance very clear. Just like Valve. So, whatever. I don't care. What else? Damn, it's already 3:30. That is quite ridiculous. Started streaming 2 hours ago. I think we can go another 20 minutes or so. Mackenzie asked if I have Microsoft SAM installed on all my Windows computers. Not all of them. Just my main one. Bryant says Hearthstone's heart has stopped beating and turned to stone. Well, so it's Hearthstone, not Hearthstone. But yeah, no. Valve, I'm pretty sure they know that Steam is not really compatible with screen readers, but they don't care. They don't care at all. They don't care. So, well, if you don't care, then I don't care to give my money to you, because why would I waste my money on a company that clearly has no interest in helping blind people? So, yep, nope. But yeah, no. Valve is just as bad as Blizzard, as far as I'm concerned. Oh man, I think I am caught up on comments. That's wonderful. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, already explained what happened with Valve. Shadows of Levi, I've never played that one. And yes, I agree that Hearthstone is trash. It is not balanced at all. Mackenzie wants me to demo the Echo app on Windows. I can. It doesn't have the most functionality, but yeah, I can put something together. At some point. Yeah, I've just been kind of trying to figure out what to do, and I'm running out of good ideas. I really am. I wouldn't mind playing The Last of Us 1 and 2, but if they're only available on the PlayStation, well, I'm not buying a very expensive console to play 2 games. And if it's on Windows, that's great, but if it requires I buy them... Oh, excuse me. If it requires that I buy them exclusively through Steam, the answer is no. Thompson says VG Storm's games are not worthy enough to be on Android. Well, I've said what I thought about VG Storm, so no sense in rehashing that. Anmal says, asks what my favorite game is. That is hard. Probably Perilous Hearts. I love Perilous Hearts. I really do. I wish he would have continued Perilous Hearts because it is such a cool concept. Andreas asks what happened with Valve. Like I said, I already explained it, but my understanding is they know that their platform is not blind friendly. They just don't care. So, yep. Yeah, the Xbox is accessible, but there's only a couple of playable games on there. There's The Veil and a Western drama. Actually, Thompson, I thought the PlayStation 5 was pretty good. Leander asks something about playing music with the Echo. Yeah, you tell it to play music and it'll play music. Yeah, no, I think his pricing is a little high. I don't think it's absurdly high, and I mean, I get that he had to pay for music and things like that, and he's trying to get his investments back. Entombed is pretty good. Problem I have with Entombed is it's not balanced, especially on the 25th floor, and you're doing the same stuff over and over again. So I still play it, just not constantly. Andreas says I should do a demonstration of Pokemon Access. I don't know if I care enough, though. Honestly. I don't know. So I did talk about bridging apps, yes, but I don't know what website you're talking about for audio games specifically. There's not one to my knowledge. I've done reviews of audio games for iOS and Android on bridging apps, but that's about it. Thompson likes the Pokemon games. That's good. I'm glad you can kind of play them. As I've said before, I have no interest in mods or games that are partially playable or that require weird hacks to make them work. I just don't care. Yep, Mackenzie, I am aware that the accessibility mode uses Julie and Bridget for the voices. Sightless Master says Arcus Master's Revenge. Was it a disappointment? Yeah, I agree. It was an audio defense ripoff, and it wasn't done well. Bryant says Entombed has some things I like better about it than Here's Call. Like Like what? I mean, I guess the randomization is pretty cool. No, Leander, Psycho Strike is not available on Android. It is only on Windows. Commentary screen reader failed, says Thompson. Yeah, no, I write app reviews for audio games from time to time. Yeah, I agree, Mary. The NFB is ridiculous. They should not be making decisions like that for each individual. If you need help, you ask for help. There is no reason to. Yeah, no. Yep. The less I say about the NFB, the better. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that, Jimmy. I'm not going to talk about the elections. Thompson says no, Crapo Strike is not available on Android. Okay. Mackenzie, any accessible versions of games that use Ivona, Eric? No. Not that I know of. Oh, geez, I am so sorry. I shouldn't do that. Yeah, not that I know of. Oh, look, I'm caught up on comments. Yes, Leander, a Western drama is on the Xbox. Enjoy, I guess. I don't know either. I don't know what the obsession is, Thompson. I don't know what the obsession with TTS is about. I mean, I like it too, yeah, but I don't talk about it constantly. I don't get that. I don't understand. Let's look at the stats here. Well, I've got 22 people watching. That's crazy. Got someone asking me if I'd be up for doing online game streams. I don't know. Just because it seems very repetitive. I just don't know how much interest that would have long term. Sightless Master says something about what turned him off of that. Of what game? You mean Psycho Strike? What turned me off that game was how the developer handled constructive criticism. I don't know. How much can you make with bridging apps per year? I don't know. It depends on how many you write. I don't make that much. I mean, honestly, I probably make $300, maybe $600 a year, if that. So I mean, it's not that much money, and I don't constantly write them because I don't have a whole bunch of apps that I actually value. I find apps that I think are interesting, and if they don't already have reviews on the site, I will write them. So I mean, it's definitely not a full-time thing, but I enjoy doing it. Thompson doesn't like CMR. I think that's Circus Master's Revenge. There we go. I'm caught up again. As of right now. But yeah, so. What else? I think I'm going to go for another 10 minutes or so until about 4. So. If you got anything else, let me know. Let me see if I'm still going here. Let me refresh the page. Right, let's pause that. How many apps can you do a day? Asks Thompson. For bridging apps, I don't know. I don't think there's a limit. I usually just do maybe 2 or 1. Like I said, it's not a full-time thing. It's really not. That and they asked me to do some accessibility testing on their site, so I did that and they paid me some money. So, you know, it's not a full-time thing. It's definitely not that, but it's gives me something to do. Gives me a little bit more money to mess around with and buy games and keep the server going. Although the main thing that keeps that going is SSI money, but yeah. So Thompson, you pick apps to write about. Mechanic Conlon. I don't know about Pokemon Access. Not really. I think I tried it a long time ago and I didn't care about it. McKenna Charvid asked me if I've heard or played the Choice of games. I've played a couple of them. There's one called the Orpheus Ruse that was kind of cool. It was like you could travel outside of your body, but your body gets stolen, and so you have to find it before you die. They're not bad. I prefer games like Timecrest and Lifeline, which have timers in them, because it feels much more. It's much more realistic in terms of you're having to wait for the character to do something, and it just makes it much more fun. The Choice of games stuff is okay, but it's easy to cheat and go back and make a different choice, or you can zoom right to the end of the game book extremely quickly. So yeah, I don't know. Mackenzie's asking about some ringtone on iOS. If you get the files, you can play them in Windows. Thompson asks, how much can you make with SSI? It depends on your benefits. So I don't know. I think it's going to go up actually as of next year. Thompson also asks, how do you know if there's already a review? You go on the website and you check. Mark Hoffman, considering buying a Mac, get at least an M1 or even better, an M2 Mac. My recommendations are always either the Mac Mini or the MacBook Air. Anything else is just overpriced, and you're probably not going to get much out of it unless you actually know that you will. Rosemary's Fate. I think that's what you're talking about. I'm going to have to look at that. Yeah, Brian, I agree. The amount you get from SSI is different. It depends on your benefits. It depends on a whole bunch of things. I don't know off the top of my head. Blind Filth. Whoa. Whoa, so the problem, the constructive criticism comment was in reference to Circus Master's Revenge. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Thompson says you get the M1 MacBook Air. I guess you can. I mean, it is cheaper, and so if you want a Mac, that would work. Don't get an Intel Mac if your plan is to stick with Mac OS and to learn it and to experience it as it changes, because I guarantee you by 2025 Mac OS will not run on Intel. So if you do that, I feel very sorry for you, because you're going to be left behind. Okay. Brian, I don't know how they messed up the M2 MacBook Air. I mean, it seems to work fine. It's just more expensive. McKenna Charvid says, yeah, Timecrest is one of her favorite games. Yeah, I agree. Timecrest is fantastic. There were the Lifeline games, but they quit making those, and I don't even know if they run on modern iOS. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of them. I think those are the only kinds of games, though, like that, which is sad. Thompson, do I just type in an app? I don't... Oh, you mean on the site? Yeah, if you type in a search keyword, it should pop up the page on Bridging Apps. Polestar asked me what's up. Yeah, no, I'm just here trying to answer comments. Which Windows am I using? I'm using Windows 11 right now. Bryant says, SSI incomes depends on how easy it is to find living in your area. Mackenzie Parker, something about iOS ringtones sound better than Windows and Android. That is your opinion, although I tend to agree. Depends on the Android ringtones. Sometimes they're better, sometimes not. Alexandra asks if I'm going to do any Christmas games. Maybe Angel Gift. I don't know yet. Yeah, Mark. The minimum I would get is an M1. If you can get an M2, I would get that because it'll last longer. But yeah. Mackenzie asks if Windows is going to run on Intel. Yeah, I don't see x86 compatibility being dropped anytime soon. Maybe in the next decade. But as of right now, yeah, it's not going anywhere. But Microsoft is also, they've made Windows for ARM processors, so that very well may be the future, but not yet. Lander says something about, I wish they cared about, what? It is also not nice when they make something games accessible. Yeah, your dictation is glitching very badly. Master N or whatever. It's asks if it's worth it to buy an M1 or M2 Mac if you can't boot camp them. That depends on you. If you like Mac OS, I guess it is. You can run a virtual machine of Windows, but you have to use the insider ARM version of Windows, but they are pretty nice machines, and I hope at some point Microsoft ports the ARM version of Windows to them natively. But from everything I've been reading, it depends on if their exclusivity deal with Qualcomm ends, which it said it would end soon, but that was a year ago, so I don't know what the definition of soon means. Thompson, can I type in audio game and get it? No, you have to type the app name. McKenna Charvid says that the Lifeline games are still a thing. I think they're still available, but there hasn't been anything since Halfway to Infinity, and that was almost 6 years ago. So I think the franchise is dead. Yeah, so my thing with Time Crest, as long as they keep their politics out of the story, I don't care. But the minute you start pushing your political or social views down my throat in a product that has nothing to do with that, that is when I have problems. I really hope they don't do this, and it wouldn't make sense if they did, because you think about these people are from a totally different dimension, so it makes absolutely no sense that they would put that kind of crap in there, because the people of that world would have no clue. So as long as they don't do that, I don't care. But the minute they do, yeah, I am not going to pay them. I may even stop playing if it gets bad enough, because there is absolutely no reason to shove your stupid views into a story about magic, and it's just dumb. But unfortunately, that's where the world is headed, so I wouldn't be surprised. the CMR thread was so toxic it had to be closed on AppleVis. Whoa, that's pretty bad. Well, so you do realize, Bryant, Windows has a compatibility layer in the ARM version to run standard x86 apps. So even if they got rid of native Intel support, well, technically it's x86 because Intel and AMD use the same architecture. Even if they did that and a future version of Windows ran exclusively on processors made from processors made by ARM or with ARM technology, most software would probably run just fine. But I don't think that's going to happen. Thompson asks if multiple people can make multiple reviews. I don't think so. Like I said, I've tried doing a few, and I was told that they already had a review up. Leander, something about Psycho Strike and choosing your age. It doesn't really do anything, though. Mackenzie Parker, something about accessible games that use Microsoft SAM. Yeah, there's a Microsoft SAM versus Mac Alex game. I'm not sure where you get it, but yeah. Yeah, Thompson, like I said, I'm aware of it, and that's pretty damn sad that they would do that. But as long as they don't push that propaganda into the actual game, I'm not going to be bothered by it. But yeah, no, we shall see. Leander, Psycho Strike, the game is free to download, but the game itself is not free. Khalil has a bunch of ringtones on his phone. Aaron Baker doesn't know what free means. Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of ringtones. 700 ringtones is quite a lot. Yeah, McKenna, I've played most of those Lifeline games. The problem is they quit producing them. So there's like the stories aren't complete, and they probably won't be completed. No, Andreas, the site is called bridgingapps.org. Adventure at Commentary Screen Reader? No thanks. Sightless Master, what did Timecrest do? My understanding, and I've only been told this, is I think they said somewhere that Ash is non-binary, which is just not necessary. What is Cycle Strike? What is Cycle Strike? I have no idea. Yeah, Mark, Lifeline Flatline was pretty cool. I was waiting for some more stuff to come past that, but I guess the franchise is dead. No, so Time Crest is about you're talking to a mage from a different world, and the gender is left up to you to determine. I've always thought, based on the actions, that Ash is male. Apparently, from what I've been told, they said somewhere, I think on Twitter, that Ash is non-binary, which just well, yeah, no, it just don't shove that crap into a game where it just has no place whatsoever. But that's all I'm going to talk about. Like I said, I don't know. Mackenzie, Mackenzie, it's not on the Play Store, and you have to know how to get it, and that's just really weird to me. No thanks. Yeah, no, that's the problem. Exactly, Brian, is originally they said, oh, Ash is either male or female, depending on the player, which, okay, fine, and now they say that Ash is non-binary, which doesn't make sense. But, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I think it was something on Twitter. Like I said, as long as they don't push that propaganda into the story itself, I don't care. I really don't. But it'd be a damn shame if they did that, because I love Time Crest, and it would be quite sad to have all that garbage pushed down my throat. So 91.5, the Phoenix says, how can a video game character not be binary? Yeah. It's funny. Oh, excuse me. Damn, it's already 4:10. I'll go another 10 minutes. And then I think I will get off of here and go read or something. I have a bunch of credits on Audible that I should try to find some interesting books. Mackenzie, Microsoft Sam destroys commentary screen reader. 3 hours, yep. Yep, we've been going for 3 hours, you guys. Seems to be a regular pattern. It seems to be a regular pattern. But that's okay. I've got nothing better to do. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's look at the stats again, see how many are watching. 20 watching now, yep. That's actually a pretty good count, I must say. And look, I'm caught up on comments. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask them now. Obviously, if you want to get in contact with me later, you can send me an email, christopher.j.wright, 4, @gmail.com. Thompson says, throw your desk at the viewers? That is impossible. And in internet challenges are stupid, by the way. So yeah, they really are. I want no part of them. I'm just right. Yeah, very punny, except you didn't spell it correctly, but that's okay. Yeah, no, I've been going for over 3 hours. Holy cow. Holy cow. That is crazy. Craziness, I tell you. Just checking here, see if there's anything else here. Oh, jeez. I shouldn't be tired either. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I just need to eat something. I'm starting to get hungry. Should probably go find something to munch on. No, Mackenzie, I've already destroyed the TikTok voices. I got old. What did you do to your Mac Mini from 2006? It still works. I just don't really use it. It's not really useful much anymore. I still have it. I just don't really use it because I can't run modern operating systems on it. Which, oh well, I guess. So, it's a shame, but it is what it is. I'd buy it from you if you didn't want it. I don't know if I want to sell it. It is an original. Well, it's almost an original Mac Mini. No, I think I'm going to hang on to it. Yeah, Mark, I did like Lifeline Flatline. That was the best. I think it was one of the best games, if not the best game. But I guess we'll never know because they're not making any new games. Not to my knowledge, anyway. And yeah, the music tracks in that game were pretty cool. Yep, Leander, that's the problem, is people they don't think about it, or they don't know about blindness, and they don't know how to act, and it's a shame, but all we can do is continue to educate people, and that's all we can do. What are the specs? Thompson asks the specifications of the Mac Mini. It's got an Intel Core Duo processor.
Yes, your leaves are dry outside.
Okay, I'm live streaming. And it just shows that she has no impulse control or thought of anything. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah, the Mac Mini has, it's got a gig of RAM, an Intel Core Duo processor, and a 160 gig platter drive. So it's not, I mean, it could be better, but Alexa yeah, I don't know.
If your Amazon account is connected to this device, You can delete what you said to me in the privacy section of the Alexa.
Shut up.
When your account is not connected,
Alexa, stop. I count as 2 people. I'm okay. Says this is Master NBT. Yeah, it's unrealistic. I don't have the motivation or the patience to make all of those. So, I mean, if you want to, you are free to do so, but I don't have the patience. I should demonstrate Hotel Detective. I can real quick. Alexa versus Ziggy.
Here you go.
Alexa, stop. I guess I can demo Hotel Detective, can I? Hopefully you can hear this reasonably well. Alexa, open minigames.
Minigames. Here's your daily bonus. Give this a spin. Fire, ice, or water. In this game you need to choose the correct element against the mystical wizard. Would you like to play?
Play Hotel Detective.
Hello, Detective. Welcome to the Mystery Hotel. Host to the finest guests all around there. Oh gosh. Why does this keep happening? We need your help. Use your detective skills to find where the scream came from. Please say a room number from 1 to 70.
30.
Room 30. Arriba, arriba. That's not a crime scene. It's a Mexican fiesta. Arriba. The scream is far away. Guess a number quite a bit lower than 30.
10.
Room 10.
Dude, totally read you gave my door a knockerino. Would you like to come in?
Detective, it smells strange in there. Better not. The scream is very, very close. Guess a number a tiny bit lower than 10.
8.
Room 8. Some cackling witches have put a cauldron on the bed. Let's pour Coca-Cola in the cauldron. It will ruin the witch's recipe. They won't mess around in this hotel ever again. You earned 12 coins for guessing the room number in 3 tries. You completed the hotel. The next hotel will have 80 rooms. Would you like to play the next hotel or play a different game?
Stop.
Thanks for playing. You earned 15 coins for Team Grass this session. Minigames.
Yep, that is the minigames skill. There's a bunch of games in there. I like the Hotel Detective one. It's the best guess the number game ever because there's all kinds of wacky things that might happen in different rooms. Yes, Thompson, the Mac Mini from 2006 can run XP. I ran XP on it, and it actually ran quite well. Although the Wi-Fi performance was very, very bad. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if that was XP or just the Wi-Fi card, but it was really slow. Really, really slow. Uh-oh, and there's a cat. That's a very loud cat. Damn. I'm not sure what the thing was about a code. Man, that is a really loud cat. I need to record that. Well, I guess I am recording it. Khalil's talking about Walter 2, which it lets you transfer files to iOS devices. Wait, a file conversion software? I thought it transferred files to iOS. Leander, can you DJ? What? No. I don't like chicken. I'm not going to eat chicken. Polestar got the PC running. Okay. Bryant likes Walter too. Yep, because it lets you bypass iTunes. Yep. I don't know how much it is. I think Walter 2 is kind of expensive, and I don't think it's worth it. Mm. 91.5 The Phoenix tried to start an internet challenge to see how far you could get in Dark Destroyer. Okay. Text-to-speech production, yeah, it is kind of a waste of time. I mean, I enjoy making them, but I don't do it all the time. Yeah, I agree. The text-to-speech stuff is unrealistic, and there's way too much of it, so you might want to tone that down just a little bit. Leander asks if I can play guitar and DJ. No, I am not musically inclined. Thompson asks if there's a way to use Microsoft reward points for cash. I don't know. Yep, that was a cat. Mark Hoffman is talking about Lifeline Flatline. Yeah, I've gotten to the point where most text-to-speech things I get bored of. Brian asks if I've looked at Walter 2. No, because I don't really transfer files to my iPhone. I don't really use it as a media player. It's been more than 10 minutes. Well, yeah, just trying to catch up on these. Nelson official says it's 5:30 in the morning. I think this is your longest Q&A. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, 91.5 The Phoenix. Yeah, I really have too. I have to have the motivation to make them, and most of the time I just don't. Yeah, Mortal Kombat is not 100% accessible, so I don't care. Yeah, please stop. That's just not like if you want to make these text to speech things, that's great, but Polestar says I was listening to the stream from 7 months ago. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. I think I'm gonna go here in a couple minutes because this has gone on long enough. So if you guys have any more quick questions here, we'll take them. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna call this a day. Yeah, I agree. Please stop doing that. It's just you're spamming the chat with just crap. Just stop. Just stop. Yeah, I don't know. Someone says Hearthstone now sucks. Okay, that's your opinion. I mean, I kind of have to agree, but well, I do agree, actually. Shut down Chris OS. Well, that's called dying. Not sure I'm ready to do that just yet. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm glad people find the site to be helpful, or this channel rather. Unacceptable dictation sucks. Yep, I agree. Nelson asks, do I like RGG type of game? I don't know what that means. Get in contact with someone there and they can help you from there. Oh, RPG games, I get bored of those. Do I use Microsoft Jenny? Mackenzie? Yeah, I use it. I use it with Narrator now. It actually works quite well with Narrator. Rosemary's Fate. No, I haven't looked at that yet. Yeah, I agree. Hearthstone is eh. Well, I guess that's about it for me. I guess I can do this again next week. I'll see if I can get my dad on here, at least for a while. He may not be on here for the entirety of the stream, but yeah, I'll see if I can get him on here. And that might be kind of interesting. Anyway, wait, what was this? Then hibernate Chris OS. I'll do that when I go to. I'll do that when I go to sleep tonight. Yeah, Nelson, I get tired of RPGs because you're doing the same stuff over and over. Oh, you have to go fight this monster and this monster and this monster, and you got to level up, and it just gets old very quickly. Brian, yeah, I think if you modify the registry, you can make the windows the Microsoft mobile voices work with Sappy, but it's not worth it. No, you can't do it. Please stop doing that, Mackenzie. That is really annoying. You can't add startup sounds on Android. Well, not to my knowledge. Oh, I don't know. Either my mom or my dad. I think my mom is usually working. Yeah, you can't make startup sounds on Android, not to my knowledge. Yeah, just stop. He did a while ago. I'm not actually might be taking a nap now. Anyway. Yeah, Mackenzie, please don't do that. That is just needlessly spamming the chat. Please don't do that. That's just people. What can I say? You can do it on a Samsung device. Yeah, I don't have a Samsung device. I don't have a Samsung device. I don't want one. I don't want to deal with their bloatware, and it's not worth it for a startup sound. Anyway. It doesn't matter because I'm about to end this. King of McKenna Charvik. I've never played King of Dragon Pass, so I don't know. But what should they do in the stream? Oh, you mean my dad? I have no idea. Yeah, just stop doing that. Yeah. Leander says, I don't like when the speech engine is too fast. I agree. That's why I don't do it. Because I assume everyone coming to this channel, or at least some people, may not be accustomed to that. So anyway, yeah, that's about it from me. This has gone on crazy long, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, if you want to get in contact with me, you can email me. You can leave comments here, and I will try to get back to you. Anyway, this has been fun. I'll be back probably next week. We can do this again if you want. But that's about it. So, you guys take care. I am going to go get something to eat. Take care.